Hello, my name is Lauren Hitchcock, and this is my audience.
Hello.
Couple names.
Tyler.
Marissa. Stephanie. Kim.
Mike.
Haley.
Robert.
Nathan.
Alex.
I got a whole group here. Watch me. Alright, I have my PowerPoint in front of me. Since the beginning of our time, ancestors began predicting the end. Could the inevitable doomsday be near? Doomsday is simply defined as the last day of the world's existence. Human overpopulation is globally the source of social and environmental issues. In our day and age, it is critical to be aware of the causing forces. An article on the BringFromEverythingConnects.org website states, unless action is taken now to reverse harmful effects of human activity on ecosystems, a mass extinction wiping out 75% of life on Earth could occur within a few centuries on the scale of the apocalyptic event that wiped out the dinosaurs and take a million years to recover. Children born today will see and experience hardships that no generation has experienced yet. Although many factors are not controlled by the average citizen, education is key to maintaining our society. Religion, philosophers, scientists, and many historic ancestors have tried to predict the apocalypse. Increase of natural disasters, natural phenomena, climate change, and government regulation of weather could easily become an uncontrollable disaster. Division of mankind, increased tensions, and war would cause the end of the world. And finally, overpopulation ties every aspect together. Overpopulation contributes to loss of fresh water, species extinction, war, depletion of natural resources, increased emergence of new epidemics and pandemics, habitat loss, climate change, and elevated crime. According to an article written by Ryan Stone, January 15, 2015, on the Ancient Origins website, the Aerosins were responsible for the earliest prediction of the end of the world. A tablet dated between 2050 and 28 BC claims that the Earth's final days, the world will slowly deteriorate into a corrupt society that would only end with destruction. There are many religions out there predicting the end of times, but I am focusing on Christianity due to it being the most widespread religion. Christianity predicts that the second coming of Christ and the battle between good and evil will be the end of mankind. What shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Bible, Matthew 24:3, King James Version. Jesus says in the end of days there will be religious deceptions, meaning that people will claim to belong and represent God but will not follow his teachings. He also predicted conflicts between nations and ethnic groups. Jesus also warned about famine, disease, and increase in natural disasters. Disregarding religious preference, could these predictions be accurate? I could argue that our society is corrupt and there are tensions between nations. I could even say that food resources will become limited as population increases and leads to famine. Deadly diseases are among us, such as Ebola, and every year people die from massive storms. Religion isn't too far off. NASA says scientists have high confidence that global temperatures will continue to rise for decades to come, largely due to greenhouse gases produced by human activities. Climate change is not a myth. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change predicts a temperature rise 2.5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit over the next century. The effects are deadly. Aside from global warming effects, there are possibilities of mass destruction from natural causes that humans are not to blame for. Then there are possibilities of humans causing mass destruction through government-controlled weather. Sounds like a tale? It's not. It's a scary thought when mankind tries to control Mother Nature. Climate change is more than it feels hotter this year. Climate change leads to the following: longer and more intense hurricanes, more droughts and heat waves. Sea level will rise 1 to 4 feet by 2100. The Arctic is likely to become ice-free, and changes in precipitation patterns are just some of the possible effects. According to the U.S. Air Force admits they can control the weather. June 6, 2015. An article from geopolitics.co website, the Air Force confirms their use of weather control through the HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Will the military use this as a super weapon? And will they lose control? Everyone should be aware of international tensions rising. Will it be a final war? With more than 15,000 nuclear weapons all around the world, nuclear warfare could be enough to wipe out the human race along with animals and all plant life. The United States alone are facing difficult times staying united, the recent election dividing the country even further. Donald Trump is the most controversial president of all time. Many worship him and many fear him. Despite one's point of view, who should have been president? His job is a difficult one, and whomever stepped into office is having to deal with international affairs. Terrorism in the Middle East is reaching an all-time high. Terrorist groups are located in over 30 countries and now expanding. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, etc. are becoming stronger, and they mean business. The recent chemical bombing is a prime example, which is banned across the international board. North Korea is an ultimate threat. They will not give up their nuclear weapons, and it's not if, but when they decide to send them out. Recent missile tests are putting nearby countries in absolute terror. How will the world react? Who, if anyone, will remain standing after a nuclear battle? There are billions of people and limited resources. Eventually, we will run out of space, food, and resources altogether. A very important quote from everythingconnects.org states, "Human overpopulation is among the most pressing environmental issues, silently aggravating the forces behind global warming, environmental pollution, habitat loss, the sixth mass extinction, intense farming practices, and the consumption of finite natural resources, such as fresh water, arable land, and fossil fuels, at speeds faster than the rate of regeneration. However, ecological issues are just the beginning." Less than 1% of the Earth's freshwater is accessible for human consumption. It's estimated by 2025, more than half of the world population will be facing water-based vulnerability. Humans are speeding up the extinction rates from 100 to 10,000 times faster than normal. According to the World Health Organization, every 3 seconds a young child dies, in most cases from infectious disease. These are few of the many issues that the world is facing. Solutions: Americans especially have taken advantage of seemingly endless amounts of resources. Eventually, they will run out. What are some things every person can do to help Mother Nature? 1, learn to take what you need and no more. Food and water is a prime example. 2, you can recycle. The ignorant, "I'm just one person, I won't make that much of a difference" speech, you are wrong. Those are 2 easy steps every person should take. Short of nuclear war itself, population growth is the gravest issue the world faces. If we do not act, the problem will be solved by famine, riots, and war. By Robert McNamara, former World Bank president. Conclusion: doomsday is inevitable. When it happens, is up for debate. The point is to take notice of the problems the world is facing and to keep educated about them. Live life to the fullest, but be modest in what you take, and always give back to Mother Earth. Stay knowledgeable and prepare for the worst. The 6th mass extinction that will eradicate 75% of life on Earth is drawing closer. Can you all say your name again?
Tyler.
Marissa. Kim. Stephanie.
Justin.
Mike.
Haley.
Robert.
Bryce.
Nate. Alex.
Thank you.
You got it.